Okay, my name is Don Metz. I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana, 1957. I graduated in 1979 from Louisiana Tech with a Bachelor of Science in Geology. Started working in the oil and gas business in 1979, and I've been working in it ever since. For a small company to begin with, and then I worked with my dad for a couple of years. And I've been working at Arena Energy for the last 22 years.
Ann and I, we met at the grocery store. I was working there in the summer of 75. 74, actually, we met is when we met. And then we got married in August of 1975. We went to Louisiana Tech in September of 1975. The friends that I met at Louisiana Tech were, like I say, I'm still friends with a lot of them, and I talked with them. And like I said, when we were in college, we studied together and did all sorts of things. I was married, the other three were not. But we'd still hang out together and study, and we'd go up at the top of the Wiley Tower and get in some quiet place where we could study, or Bogart Hall or someplace like that. Our head of department was Leo Herman, and he was a really neat guy. He'd worked for Mobil for a number of years before he started teaching, and so I was lucky enough to have somebody with industry experience before. And so he was actually teaching us the things we would be using when we got out. Most of the time, in particular geology, you're taught things about the basics of geology, but not necessarily about how to use those things for oil and gas exploration. But first off, I'd like to thank my mom and my dad, because they helped us when we went to school. Even though we were married, they helped us some. And then neither one of them, they both have passed now. So in addition to that, my wife is like, God gave me my wife, and there's no doubt I wouldn't have made it anywhere if it hadn't been without her. So, when we went to school, we didn't have very much money, and so I benefited by having scholarships when I went to school, and so I felt like this would help them. And then in addition to that, we wanted to go up there and speak with them person to person so that we could encourage them and say, hey, keep up the good work, keep working hard. And then the two different departments, one's engineering and the other's education. The engineering department, they provide engineers that basically drive innovation in the United States and around the world, and that's really cool. And education, they're helping kids get the most that they possibly ever could get out of their abilities. And so both of them, it's just like the professors and the heads of the departments and all those guys. I work for Arena Energy, and it's named after Teddy Roosevelt's speech, "The Man in the Arena." So, and it's not the critic who count, but it's the man who's in the arena. And so that's what we say. It's not about us. We're just lucky enough that God gave us enough to where we can give back. But it's really about those professors and the heads of department and all those guys. Those are the ones that are making the difference, and they're the ones that are helping the kids. I don't really need the recognition. I don't even really want the recognition, but that's the way both of us are. It's not, we don't do this so that we get recognized, and we don't do it so somebody says, oh, look at what they did. We do this so that we can help other people out.